Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Of course, I've been doing some recording and reviews the last few days. I wanted to get out some cool stuff. I wanted to have some diverse content to kind of really start the channel off. Of course, I had the Creepshow TV show, and I had the Wolfman and Dracula, the old classic renditions from Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney Jr. I wanted a little bit of different stuff varying around between back then and now. And one of the things I've wanted to see for a while that my boy Sinister Cinema Reviews has talked about, well, he used to talk a lot about when this was first kind of coming out, was a film called Saint Maud from 2019. I'm assuming 2019 you could go ahead and say was the official release date, but apparently this was at the time when I've been going back the last day or so since I saw the film and watching his videos. Apparently this was being announced and then it was canceled and then announced and it canceled and a move back and a move over and over again. And eventually I'm assuming 2019 is when it was officially released. Maybe it was last year, I don't really know. Anyway, finally saw it. I saw it the other day when I was looking on Hulu. I happened to be browsing through with my wife trying to find something to watch, and it said Saint Maud, and I was like, that's what Jason was talking about on his channel. And I never saw his review, as far as I know, until after I watched the movie. But I remember him saying so much how he desperately wanted to see this, and I had heard little things here and there. I was surprised when Jay on Red Letter Media didn't talk about it here on YouTube. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and watch this. I will tell you up front, I saw Saint Maud, and I like it. It's not amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good flick. I enjoy it for the most part. It was entertaining. It kept me engaged most of the movie, if not the whole movie for that matter. Had some very interesting, weird things. It is more of an art house horror, which I like. I like Eraserhead. I like Antrum, the deadliest film ever made. I consider those two my scariest films of all time. But this has more of a borderline dreamlike feel to it sometimes. Not the whole time, but sometimes. It has a very drama feel to it most of the movie, and I like that very much like I do with Hereditary. Is it as scary as something like Hereditary? Hell no. Absolutely not. It doesn't even come close in my opinion. Hereditary to me is, again, one of those movies that are one of the scariest films I've ever seen that just will not let me go. Didn't even like it the first time I watched it, and as I've seen it more and more, it's stuck with me over the years. What's Saint Maud about? Let's get to the premise. Saint Maud is about a girl who apparently just left a recent job in nursing, healthcare, something like that. I'm assuming nursing. That something happened there we kind of don't know. We kind of assume, but we kind of don't know. We never get a full grasp on what happened. But she leaves a job and she goes to becoming a private healthcare person, private nursing, living in with somebody to try to take care of them. And she gets assigned from her small little like one-room apartment thing. And when I say one room, I mean one room. You come in that front door, it's everything. Bathroom, kitchen, everything in one room. Can you imagine having to smell grease while you're trying to be on the toilet? I mean, it just, oh, it makes me sick thinking about it after being sick on Thanksgiving and puking my guts out that night. Just anyway, as gross as that was, let me get to my actual story premise here. Maud herself, our main character, is a younger woman, probably 25, late 20s, 30s, somewhere in there. She gets assigned to a very famous dancer. I forgot the girl's name. It's like something Cole, something like that. Anyway, she's a famous ex-dancer who I'm assuming has cancer right now. She's there for the therapy. She's there to help this woman with stretching and whatnot, just to kind of keep her lively, give her some company. Apparently the nurses trade out here and there. I don't know how often that schedule happens with nurses trading out. Maybe Maud is the replacement of some sort. But anyway, recently Maud became a Catholic, and I say that with quotations because as a Christian, not a Catholic, I can't really speak too much of that, but a lot of the things she's saying are more Catholic dogma. But there's some weird things thrown in there that are not Catholic. It's a little odd. I understand the representative nature of that. I understand what they're doing with it. There's a lot of symbolism in here, and that's creative. I like that. It's a very self-indulgent movie, and that's fine. A movie should be self-indulgent as far as I care. And it's going a little bit in one direction. This is going to be one of those movies that mainstream audiences are going to see and hate it. It's going to be that kind of flick. But I recommend the flick. If you want something different to watch, kind of a mixture of drama and art house surrealism and whatnot, you should check this out. Saint Maud has some things to offer. Beautiful cinematography, a fantastic score. The score is just wonderful. It's beautiful. It's one of those things kind of like Antrum that just really gets to you a little bit. Is there really any scariness to this? I would say tension, not scare. And sometimes those go hand in hand. Sometimes. I think with scares, it's more of a visual thing mixed in with the tension building or whatever you have with that. This is more of just a drama-filled tension fest a lot of the time. And there's a little bit of humor here and there, like the woman that she's taking care of, the ex-dancer. Her performance is phenomenal. She's really good. Genuinely fun, genuinely funny at times. There's a little bit of personal character study focused on our main character, Maud, which, by the way, the performance from this young lady is fantastic as well. Not, in my opinion, I think that it's not as good as the patient. The patient lady is phenomenal. I've seen her in some things, I believe. I could be wrong. I didn't IMDb it. I don't really care to. I'm not one of those hardcore researcher reviewers. But they're both fantastic together. Watching them kind of debate afterlife stuff, debate God, all these things. But they don't really debate it. They kind of just talk about it, you know? It's not a debate. It's not. It's interesting. I was not prepared for that. As a Christian, I was kind of surprised seeing how well that went. You know, with all the little oddball things in there. If you've seen this movie, you know the little oddball things I'm referring to in the Catholicism that Maud has. It is a very art house film, and with that being said, it's kind of a slower paced movie, but I actually think it's not as slow as I kind of expected it to be. It is a well-paced flick. The drama works. A lot of cool characters in this that I enjoyed watching. Yeah, it does its job. That's all I really have to say about it. There's really not any explicitly horrific, in my opinion, horror or body horror. There's one particular scene involving body horror that kind of got to me, but I wouldn't say the film was extremely shocking or anything like that. It wouldn't make like my top 10 of whatever year it came out. It wouldn't be anything like that. It's not like my favorite movie ever made, but it is solid. It is a solid flick, and I do recommend it if you haven't seen it. Acting's good, directing's pretty solid. Again, score is great. Everything you could want from a movie to be at least competent or at least be watchable. This has that. It's more than watchable. It's pretty interesting. So, Saint Maud, if I had to rate this film on a 5-star basis, I would probably give it about a 3 out of 5 stars just because it doesn't impress me. And again, I focus my rating more on the enjoyability factor from my opinion, because I feel like if you can relate to what I'm saying or what I think are my kind of taste in movies, which is not impossible to please me, frankly, for amazing, I give it like a 5. For a 4, it's got to be amazing, for close to it at least, and has a bad ending or something like that, or it's something I'm very nostalgic about that I also think can couple with being really well made. A 3 to me is more of just, hey, this is a solid flick. It has something to offer. I like it. I recommend it. Not drooling over it. You know what I mean? And that's what I think Saint Maud is. A 3 out of 5 stars for me. Really solid flick. I recommend it tremendously. I think a lot of people would really dig this that are into art house horror and that kind of thing. It's very, very competently made. Very well put together. Interesting script. Interesting ideas. Even on top of that, I think that there's a very interesting finale at the end of this movie for you. But again, very dreamlike, and I like that kind of flick. That's why I'm a David Lynch fan. What are your thoughts on Saint Maud? If you've seen this, did you love it? Did you hate it? Put your thoughts and comments down below. I would love to hear what you have to say about it. And thank you for watching. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Goodbye.